welcome to the first episode of Iron Man Training for Knees with your hosts,
The Iron Wolf.
the Iron Gecko.
We thought we'd start then by why the nicknames.
It's not really
Well,
a great reason. You literally sent a message saying we should have nicknames, and that's pretty much where that started. So
I think with a nickname, it makes you become that object, no?
maybe.
So you, the Iron Gecko, because
Yeah. We just went through a few options of names. Felt like probably the closest one that would have fit might have been the Iron Shark, but I didn't feel like the logo was gonna work.
Exactly.
And jokingly came across the Iron Gecko, and it kind of stuck.
It
really.
fits. It fits.
I'm not sure why it fits, but it fits just because it sounds good.
I think it sounds good and the picture will be good, and Gymshark won't come after us.
Fair.
When we build our own
Yeah.
clothing brand, which will come soon, I'm sure of it. And the Iron Wolf, on the other hand, is because wolves go up hills when they howl, and
And you're going to be howling at the top of hills.
I'm going to be howling at the top of the hills. So why are we doing the Iron Man in Nice? Well, long story short, I kind of like doing challenges. Thought, let's do a new challenge. So I said to Dave, I'm going to train for an Iron Man. What do you think?
Alright, so it sounds like an absolutely stupid idea.
So I booked us both on.
Pretty much.
No, so I tried to say, well, I'm going to be training for it anyway. Well, I did say I'm training for it anyway, so it'd be nice if you can join into that training plan.
Yeah.
And now we're doing it.
Yeah. It's still a stupid idea, but it's we are into it now. We're doing it. Yeah, I think my first question was, or not question, statement was, I better get a bike then.
Yeah. So looking at the experience, both run. Probably Dave probably runs a bit more than I do. Actually, definitely runs more
Yeah,
than
but
I do.
not to any ridiculous standard, half marathon standard. I've done a few half marathons, one earlier this year, but not consistent. So that gives you an idea on where we're starting out from. You've run 10 miles.
10 miles,
Once.
definitely. Run 10 miles once, and it was very hard, to be honest. So my running it's short-lived, to be honest. Coming on to cycling, so I think I bought my first bike in 2014 maybe, but again, I only really used it to cycle to the gym, which is really far, to be fair.
Yeah, like 2 miles.
At least 2 miles away. Clipping in as well, it was fun. It was fun until somebody stole most of it.
Yeah,
So
at least you kept the tyres. Tyres and wheels.
So I'll be using the Fuji Robla. I think that's how you say it anyway. But yeah, quite a light bike. And yours? I'd love to hear you say what yours is.
Yeah, so mine's a slightly older bike. Got second hand from a really great guy in Reigate actually, and he's been looking after me since, which is actually quite handy. So in terms of cycling, genuinely haven't been cycling ever. So the bike, I've got a 2009 Fasto copy, which is no longer sold in the UK as a brand at all, and it's a Lombardia, which
Beautiful bike.
it's really good. Turns out it's really good downhills. I was second out of 6, and we were picking up speed down Pebble Hill. So that's the coming down off the hill they use for the Olympics when it was in the UK, and just started to pick up my first good amount of speed, and the front tyre blew. Dramatically would be the best way I can describe that. All I could hear was a lot of guys shouting at each other. Well, I assumed shouting at me to get out the way. Turns out they were shouting at each other because they could tell that I'd had a problem, and as they were trying to avoid me, they were getting into each other's ways. So absolute carnage behind me coming down the hill. Thankfully, somebody was able to stop, and we managed to replace the inner tube, and all was well after that. But I think every one of the people behind me that saw that asked how I stayed up, and the honest answer is I have no idea. I didn't know what to do, what had gone wrong. I just clung on for dear life and managed to stop it. So that was interesting and hasn't put me off though. It was funny after it happened, not so much during.
But has now forced new tyres because
New
I think
tyres.
you're running on racing slicks.
Yeah, definitely
Which doesn't
summer
suit
tyres,
you, no.
definitely slicks. I would imagine they're about the worst choice I could have for going through the winter. But yeah, we'll see how the new
So
ones go.
on, as we're just looking at tyres, so we are all running. So there's a couple of us that aren't doing the Ironman, but are classed as our support team. On the bikes, we're calling them the Iron Cogs. One in particular will be taking us through our paces. So he's also using the Grand Prix Continental All Seasons. And that's what I've got on mine, and that is now what David just ordered. So hopefully we'll let you know if that does differ, but it sounds like they're going to be the ones to use in winter and in training, and then get the slicks back out when we're actually doing racing. On to swimming. So up until, well, it must be 3 weeks ago now, I personally couldn't swim. I mean, I can...
Could manoeuvre in
I
water
could-
would be
yeah,
about the
I
best
could
way to
manoeuvre
describe
in
it.
water, but generally, if I went to the swimming pool, I was pretty much doing bombs, and that was about as well. Bombs or pool parties, neither of which are going to help me with Ironman. So I've got 2 swimming instructors now, it would seem. So one of my friends, who just happens to be Iron Cog's brother, has been teaching me to breathe properly. So up until 3 weeks ago, I learned how to breathe properly. Whereas Dave, on the other hand,
I'm not
did
too
the full
worried
distance
about.
in one go.
So, whilst I haven't swum at any sort of decent lengths in probably about 3 years, it's always been something I've been confident with. So that's not such a worry for me. We do have 2 hours 20
Yep.
on the day, so I'm well inside that already. Doesn't mean that there's not room for improvement there. There's certainly some stamina that needs to be built up, but I'm fairly confident on that one. So that one's a tip for me, I would imagine.
So we're doing the Be Iron Fit John Think Plan, as I said in my last one. So it's 30 week. We're going to start with a competitive program, and then pretty much see how it goes. I mean, we're 1 week in. We train together most days. I think we missed a couple of
switched
sessions.
a couple rounds, yeah.
But generally, I mean, we both have careers. We work long hours. So late night lengths has come up, and
Early mornings.
Early mornings seems to
Turns
help.
out there is actually a 5 a.m. I knew there was one in the evening, but there is one in the morning as well. So, and being in the gym shortly after that is new.
That's when we did our first brick training, so that's new. And a bit different.
Yeah.
How did you find it, Dave?
Yeah, just getting going after. So the brick session we did was a transition between bike to run, and the first 5 to 10 minutes, it feels as if I've never known how to walk before. It's really weird. So getting off a bike and walking around is one thing, but then trying to actually get your body into running is. It's incredible, really. It feels as if somebody's replaced your legs completely with lead. I don't know why. But then they do seem to loosen up. I'm hoping that loosening up happens a bit quicker with a bit more practice on the transition. But certainly, that was a bit of an eye-opener.
Same for me, really, on the brick stuff. The one thing I know, actually, cycling indoors on a spin bike, super boring. Been the hardest one. So we actually did it because of the weather. We needed to do it in the light, and Dave doesn't have lights yet, so we couldn't do it in the dark. So we did that indoors, and then the next day we did 30 minutes, keeping our pace at 100 RPM, which is just following the plan basically. But that was, just boring, to be fair. So we both, Dave's got a turbo trainer, I'm just seeing which one I want to buy.
Yeah, I'm finding the turbo trainer a little difficult. Not a lot of movement in the bike. It was, I don't know, something like £45, not particularly branded or anything like that. So I don't know whether it's the fact it's a turbo trainer, I've got a particularly bad one, or we do need to go out and do more of the smart trainer type.
Yeah.
So be interested to see what people think on that.
Yeah, if anybody has any views on a turbo trainer which is good and not £700,
Ideal.
let us know. Looking really at last week then, so none of the workouts were particularly hard. I think the constantness of doing a workout. I mean, we both are gym people, as you can probably tell. Me more. But basically, we've always trained like 5 days a week anyway, and have incorporated cardiovascular activity into that. So now, a bit different. The swimming does, I keep pulling something here, but that's technique. Other than that, the running and cycling, the levels actually we got to do in week 1 are probably below the levels we currently do.
Yeah, so in terms of, that's the only thing I would say, we probably exceeded some of the, like certainly the long cycle we've...
yeah, so this week it was just the hour that we're supposed to do, and I think we did 3.
Something like that. Yeah.
But relatively
then
good pace.
very similar to for the longer runs, because the first week is literally looking at it as quite introductory.
Yes.
And what was it? It was something like it's meant to be 40 minutes or something similar to that.
For the run?
For an entire day's run.
Yeah, 45. Yeah,
it's a
45
bit
minutes.
like. Don't feel like I've done it if I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So honestly, we're probably exceeding the longer stuff that's on the first week of the plan. I'm not necessarily sure that's a bad thing, given the fact that we're starting probably from a better position than the book considers us to be.
Sure, we're going to find.
There's going to be a biting point. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Especially seeing as this plan's pretty on the competitive level.
Yeah, so as you said, there's 3 levels in there, start on the competitive, and if we need to drop down, we can obviously drop down 2. I suppose one of the things actually, how quickly are we going to attempt to do it? So, I mean,
firstly, I want to complete.
Yeah, complete is like, we're not in this to be athletes. That being said, if we get to week 15, start breaking some records, maybe we will go to Kona.
I think that's...
no, but so we're going to probably try and aim for, at the start, as at today's day, I think we're going to aim for 14 hours.
I think, yeah. No, I'd be...
All in,
I'd
completely.
be happy with start to finish 14 hours.
14 hours, 14 gels. No, it's going to be interesting. We're going to keep the one thing to note. So basically, at the moment, I'm using a Garmin, and Dave's using an Apple Watch. It's important to obviously keep our heart rates at a certain level, so that's why we're using these. I think I'm actually going to invest in a strap, an ECG. Yeah.
Because
Well, that's at the doctors.
No, yeah, kind of. So the watches give you a indication of your heart rate. The straps give you an actual ECG, so it's actually taking what your heart rate is and it feeds it straight through to the watch. So much more accurate in terms of that.
Dave's the tech, yeah.
We're going to probably get those and train with those.
It makes sense, and I think you can actually get one in the water as well. So looking at the moment, probably going to stick with Garmin on the basis I have a Garmin. And it's Black Friday next week, and I know there's going to be some Garmin deals.
I'm debating whether to change to the Garmin, the same as Barry, or stick with the Apple Watch and get which will connect with the Apple Watch. Obviously, if I get the Garmin watch, then I will probably get the Garmin strap that goes with it.
So week ahead, we've got a busy week, so we're going to be training relatively late. We've got Instagram accounts, so mine is instabw85. And Dave's is Suave Dave.
Yeah.
Please do follow this, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Touch on nutrition. You'll see from my page that I did actually do a nutrition guide for week 1. I've done one for week 2 as well. The one thing to note in week 1 is I couldn't eat that much food because I'm used to eating 1,800 calories roughly, and I upped that to 2,500. Just to confirm, you don't include sweets. They're empty calories, right? So you can burn straight off?
Donuts don't count.
No, but on a serious note, as we progress through and need the fuel more, so at the moment we can do the plans as we used to, like doing, but as we need the fuel, we'll try and do that. So each time on the rides, I am going to be bringing the sweets, because I like to bring the sweets. Take into consideration we're doing it in Nice in June, in circa 40-degree heat.
And
that might be a slight exaggeration.
4 degrees.
Yeah.
So we've got to work out a bit of the contrast in training to race day as well.
But we're going to get there. Welcome to our journey.
All right.
Do you have to say anything?
I don't know. No, I think we're good.
I'll hear you say, come and follow us.
Come follow us.